Welcome to round 4 of the SOAR Regional Race Series. We're here back at Grand Bend Motorplex on the modified layout. Modified layout is the shortest layout in the calendar. However, it still uses the full back straight. We're just rolling up here on the Amateur Supersport Qualifying grid. You'll see at this round I only had the 360 camera on, so unfortunately there is no footage from the front of the bike. What a disaster of a start. The front of the bike comes up, I slam down, bog a little bit, just an absolute mess. Zoli gets the inside line here and pushes through right away into turn 1. At this point, I'm right on Zoli's tail. I could keep with him through the infield, no problem, and up to the back straight. It's just this area here breaking into the carousel and the speed through the carousel that I'm really still having issues with. He gets quite a bit of ground on me here. Just skipping a few laps ahead here. Zoli's still leading the qualifying race with me in second and Nash in third. I wasn't exactly on the greatest tires. I had some soft Dunlop rears that had already been through a few heat cycles and weren't exactly giving me the most confidence. Since it's only qualifying, I decided to kind of stick to the plan. Front row is the goal. Whether I'm first or second, it doesn't really make a whole lot of difference for the race tomorrow. Sure, there's a point difference in the championship, but at this point, I didn't think it was really tight enough to worry about that 1 point. Nash really takes advantage of my poor braking into the carousel. You'll see here him trying around the outside. Unfortunately, he does push a little bit wide, tries to cut back in, but I blocked the line through the dogleg and he's not able to make that stick. Still able to maintain that second position by just 0.06 of a second. It was a good qualifying result. Tomorrow's race is definitely going to be pretty tight. Just rolling up now to the Superbike grid. It's not a very big grid, but running the 600 class bike, you are at a significant power disadvantage. Wow, what a launch by Brad. He takes the whole shot directly into turn 1. I have no choice but to tuck in behind him. Bit of a group forms up behind me. He's a little bit slow through turn 2. I try to take a look around the outside, but there's just no room to squeeze him on the inside into 3. Lose a little bit of drive here. Zoli takes advantage of that, goes up the inside of me into the first kink, turn 4. And at this point, I'm panicking. I've lost a little bit of drive on a couple of the turns, and as soon as we get to that back straight, those thousands are just going to take off on me. I really should have been able to defend against Cabin in this braking zone here. Pretty disappointing. Just skipping ahead a few laps here, you'll see an R1 and a Ducati V4 just absolutely obliterate me down the back straight. Luckily, I am able to defend against the R1, outbraking him slightly into the carousel, and the Ducati just went in way too hot, blowing the corner, ending up on the grass. You'll see just on the edge of the screen there. Skipping another few laps, you'll see the R1 make the exact same move on me. This time though, he's able to make that pass stick. At this point, things are really not looking good. I'm down in 5th position, so definitely off the front row. I'm just going to try to hold on to the top 6 finish. I really can't be any farther back than that second row, or I'm going to be in real trouble for tomorrow's race. Just need to defend against Peter here, who goes up the inside of me into the carousel. Just absolutely disheartening. Luckily, still on that second row. I can't lose any more positions, and I don't. I do end up qualifying 6th. I think it's probably one of my worst qualifying results this year so far. Rolling up on the Lost Arrow lightweight grid. We are starting from the front row. We'll try to get the whole shot and try to break away if possible. Just sharing how close that previous qualifying race was with Nash here. Excellent start here. Just look how much of a gap I get into turn 1. I'm able to maintain this gap for a couple laps, but sure enough, Nash does make his way up. I've had it with people going around the outside of me in the carousel. I'm not going to let him take this position away. I'm going to try and stay right on him and make an attempt into turn 1. Yes, we got him. Just got to keep a tight line through 1, try to kill his drive, and we're back in the lead of this qualifying race. Well, that's a surprise to absolutely no one. That's okay though, we're second position now, still on the front row, so as long as we maintain this, we should be in pretty good shape. I guess Reg missed that memo. He gets by me and puts me in third place. Still on the front row though, so overall a pretty good qualifying result. I'll take it. And we're into the first race of the day on the Amateur Supersport grid. We are starting from the middle of the front row. And a clear jump start from Jason Nash. No penalty was awarded. He did let off and didn't gain any position by doing that. So I lead the race for the first couple of laps. We'll skip ahead here to second. And I'll let you place your bets as to where Zoli gets by me. So we're in second place now, just skipping ahead a few laps. Nash does get real close to me, and I completely blow through turn 1. I take a really wide line. The front tire just felt like it wasn't giving me any support. Nash takes advantage of that, puts me into third place. And that's ultimately how I end up finishing this race. Not a great result, still a podium position, so can't be too upset, but I'm really starting to bleed points here for the championship. And the other issue that's becoming painfully obvious is obviously the carousel. It's not so much the braking, although that's a large part of it, but more so the corner speed. I think I've identified the issue, and it's something I'm going to be working on. Rolling up on the Amateur Superbike race now, the one where I qualified very poorly. So we'll see what we can try to salvage off the start. John has an absolutely terrible start from the front row. I take advantage of that going into turn 1, keeping a little bit of a tighter blocking line. I see a gap opening into turn 2, so I'm going to keep a wide line, try to keep that speed up, go around the outside, and try to get Nick Flanjak into turn 3, which I do manage to do. Peter didn't quite work out there, but he did go wide, which means I'll have the outside line and take him into the kink. Okay, that was a fantastic start. We started in 6th place and worked our way up onto the podium. Currently in P3, but I know that back straight's coming, and those 1000s are going to be going by me real quick. And just like that, we are in P5. I did spend a little bit of time thinking about carousel corner speed, and I was able to make a couple of improvements. You'll see me get flange jack just around the outside there. And that extra corner speed really helped close the gap to Peter, so I'm thinking about lining him up into turn 1. Let's see if we can make something stick. That 1000 is really pulling away on me here. If I'm going to pass him into 1, I'm going to have to be really late on the brakes, which I try to do, but I end up going really wide in the 1. He takes up the inside line, puts me back into 4th place. We tried. Peter was fairly slow through these kinks, which killed a bit of my drive, and I knew that any thousands behind me would be right on my ass as soon as we pulled on that back straight. I'd have no chance against them. Well, Nick, you could have at least waved. He got by me so early on that back straight that by the time we got to the braking zone, there was no hope of me trying to make any move on the brakes on him. Okay, I'm coming up on Peter again, and I know he's going to be really fast on that front straight with this 1000, so I'm going to try the same maneuver again, except this time I'm going to try to make it stick. Yes, we got it. Look how tight I keep my line through turn 1. There's no way he's getting by me again. So we did lose a position here, but I'm going to do my best to try to defend against Peter, make sure we don't lose any more. Not this again. Takes me up the inside of the brakes in the carousel. Man, look at Cadman go. Double pass on the outside of the carousel. Well done, John. That was a really good pass. I see that I'm getting close to Peter a little bit, so let's see if we can make the move we tried earlier stick again for the second time. Perfect! We got him again. Let's try to keep that line tight. I drifted a little bit wide here, but even still, it was enough to maintain that position. Okay, this is getting old. I'm not having any more of this. I'm gonna try and go around the outside. Perfect. Made it stick and carried a little bit more speed through the carousel. Hopefully we can bring that forward to the next races. Alright, so we just skipped forward a couple of laps here. We're getting close to the end of the race. I see Flame Jack coming up, and he seems to be going real slow through turn 1. I'm not sure if he had a mechanical or not, but I get by him pretty easily through there. So that puts us into 5th position, which is not a great result. But we're just going to keep pushing, see if we can try to close the gap to 4th. So skipping on to the final lap, just pulling onto the back straight, and I see Cadman not far up ahead of me. So I'm going to see if there's anything I can try to do to close that gap and maybe pull off a last second pass on him. Sorry I didn't have the front camera, guys. Okay, we're getting close to the dog leg. I could see him Let's see if we can get a bit better drive on the exit of him. And not quite. Extremely close finish, but not enough to get that P4, which means a P5 result. Not great, not terrible. And we are now into the last race of the day, the Lost Era lightweight race. As always, the grid is absolutely huge, so we'll try to see what we can do off the start, and we'll see how the lap traffic is about halfway through race distance. It's also the last race of the day for me, so I'm going to try and use a little bit of what I've learned throughout the weekend. And not the best of starts, but it is what it is. We'll go around the outside of one here. I was hoping to carry a bit more speed. It really would have been ideal and try to have that inside line into two, but completely failed to do that. So just skipping forward a few laps here, in front of me there's a big battle going on, and I am just sitting behind it, waiting for somebody to make a mistake so I can jump in and take advantage of that. You'll see here on the back straight, I actually learned a little bit from my previous races, and I try to make a move on Nash. Unfortunately didn't stick, but just me even attempting that is a big improvement from what you've seen earlier in the weekend. In front of me right now, there is an absolute war going on. Reg and Nash are trading places, elbows out, trying to get an edge on each other, and they're losing time trying to do that, which opens up a little bit of opportunity for me. I think I'm going to try Jason Nash here to turn 6. Fortunately, can't exactly make it stick, but as we are going up onto lap traffic, I know it's going to be a matter of time before the opportunity comes up. And perfect! There's exactly the kind of mistake I'm talking about. Reg pressured Jason Nash enough that Jason Nash ran off the track. You'll see him on the side there going to cut some grass. So thanks Reg for putting the pressure on Nash. Looks like we are now up into P2. So we'll try to stay close to Reg and see if maybe we can find an opportunity on him somewhere. You'll see we get into some lap traffic here, which is pretty dicey. Lots of fun to go through, but also a little bit of a scary moment. These fast kicks are not a usual passing spot, but if I'm gonna make a move on Reg at some point, I have to lose absolutely no time with this lap traffic. So sorry guys, but coming through. Okay, we're on the second last lap. I see Reg up ahead of me. I'm gonna see if I can use that experience I got in the braking zone and make a move on Reg. Yes! We got it. I didn't think we'd make it stick, but we sure did. We got that blocking line, got through him, and we are now in the lead of the race. Okay, we're starting the last lap. We're in the lead. All we have to do is bring the bike home, try to run a bit of a blocking line, and hopefully maintain that lead position. Ah, great. Lap traffic. I'm just going to dive up the inside. I don't want to lose any time here. Oh wow, look at Reg go. Didn't think he'd try to make that move, but it's clear he wants to stick with me. Maybe try a last lap pass. Okay, second last corner. We have the lead. Try to brake late. Maintain. Yes, that's a win. P1 in Lost Era Lightweight. Overall, not a great weekend, to be honest, and as far as the points go, we're in a little bit of trouble for the championship. Now, round 6 is a doubleheader, but even with that being said, for me to beat Zoli in Amateur Supersport, I basically need to beat him in round 5 and in both races at round 6. Saying it's a challenge, it's putting it lightly. Make sure to subscribe because round 5 will surely be interesting. We'll see you guys next time, and thanks for watching.